It's hard to acknowledge when a run is over. Peyton Manning, Ray Lewis, Darrelle Revis, among the greatest ever at their respective positions. We've seen them at their absolute heights and in their absolute lows, and it's pretty hard to witness. The Seattle Seahawks were dubbed as the next great dynasty in the NFL, and now it looks like they're headed on a downward spiral. Is the Seattle Seahawks run officially over? The Pylon has that answer for you right now. So this whole thing got started almost 7 years ago on one of the most famous runs in NFL history. And from then on, the Seattle Seahawks had the league by its throat. Suffocating defense led by studs Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and Richard Sherman, top two linebacker Bobby Wagner, excellent edge defender Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, unexpected Super Bowl contributions by Malcolm Smith, top five quarterback falling to their laps from Russell Wilson, with underrated receiver Doug Baldwin, all backed by the spirit of the franchise, Marshawn Lynch. This team was supposed to be the NFC's answer to New England, and for a moment, we almost saw that. And for 59 minutes and 34 seconds, we saw the next great NFL dynasty play selfless, play hungry, play for each other in Super Bowl 49. And as great as a head coach as he is, this downfall started with Pete Carroll. He signed off on the sentiment that this thug, Marshawn Lynch, just simply wasn't PC enough to be the face of the franchise and deliver a second straight Super Bowl in that crucial moment. And from then on, the team started to deteriorate. Marshawn is so disgusted with the decision, he retires. Malcolm Smith leaves for big money, or what he considered big money. Reports begin to surface that Russell Wilson is being coddled too much. Richard Sherman becomes just as outspoken and as feisty as ever. The defense loses its leader, Cam Chancellor, to injury. Michael Bennett brings to light his own shady political agenda. And now Earl Thomas is publicly calling out Bobby Wagner this past weekend after this defense, this team, handed the torch over to the Los Angeles Rams. But hey, this could be a down year, right? They've been injured, their offensive line is bad, they're still searching for a running back. Yeah, that's all true. The Seahawks can just buy another offensive line. It's going to be easy to say they're going to be back once they get that offensive line, but where are they going to get the money to get that? Russell Wilson is on the books next year with a hit over $23 million, deservedly so. You got top five players at every position in your secondary, a top five linebacker, a top five edge defender who all want to be paid accordingly, and rightfully so. Only problem is all those players are approaching 30, or in Michael Bennett's case, he's over 30. They're all egotistical and prideful, so good luck approaching them about restructuring their contracts. So, and that quarterback you allegedly coddled, the quarterback some teammates may actually resent, needs help and needs to be protected before he becomes damaged goods. But then you look over at your competition. The Los Angeles Rams just beat the absolute brakes off of you. Oh, and by the way, they're based in an attractive location and they got a boatload of cap space for next year. The 49ers have found their quarterback and they're primed and ready to add a dynamic player in this year's draft. Oh, and by the way, they've been slowly building a young defense that's primed to make a splash. The Seattle Seahawks are the NWA of the NFL. A team that changed the culture, had such an impact that sent a shockwave around the league, but is now going on a downfall that started on ego, entitlement, selfishness, and favoritism. Turning this franchise around is not going to be an easy fix. It's not as simple as throwing egos out of the door anymore. It's about putting the money up to get better players in. It's about the competition getting more and more advanced. And it could possibly end up being about going in a new direction, looking for answers on how to stay relevant. I've said multiple times that this team is incapable of moving on from that Super Bowl, and there are players who have came out and admitted it. And moving on is always easier said than done, but the fact of the matter is the Seattle Seahawks are stuck in quicksand of regret, and that's afforded the competition the opportunity to catch up with them.